Tonight, House Democrats are hoping to table an impeachment resolution against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas over his dereliction of duty at the southern border.
He's facing fierce criticism from Republicans for his failure to stem the flow of migrants crossing into this country. Since Joe Biden's inauguration, there have been nearly 2.5 million migrant encounters at the southern border and close to 2 million known gotaways.
Not to mention an unprecedented number of migrants arrested on the terror watch list this last fiscal year, raising concerns over our national security.
Joining us now, Iowa Senator Joni Ernst, who was down at the border earlier this month. Senator, always a pleasure to see you. Is this justified, given what you saw on your most recent trip? Why does Alejandro Mayorkas still have that job?
Thank you, Dagan. And that is a great question. And that's why the House is addressing this issue. Now, if the southern border truly were secured, we would not see this going on. But because of Biden's failed border policies, we see all of those millions of illegal migrants coming into the country. We see our southern communities completely overrun, just as I saw at the southern border just a couple of weekends ago. Food pantries, their hospitals, their shelters. There is no room for actual citizens in those areas. So this is a crisis. It's a humanitarian crisis. And as you just pointed out, it truly is a national security crisis. This is something the Biden administration has brought upon themselves.
And it's shameful that Democrats aren't joining Republicans to oust Alejandro Mayorkas. I mean, that they don't see what you see at the border and go, we have to have a change. I'm an American. I don't care about open borders. I care about the people that live in this country. But in the Senate or the House, you don't really hear a lot of Democrats talking about securing the border with Republicans.
Right, Sean. And this is the unusual part of this is that while they're not being public about it, there are a number of Democrats behind the scene that are very, very concerned about what's going on at the border. But the thing is, they don't want to buck their own administration. And so we are not seeing the solutions that need to come forward. First thing, secure the border. For heaven's sakes, when I was in Yuma, we saw unused materials just laying there in the desert. If we would just complete the sections of the border that really need that physical protection and then fortify other areas with technology, we would be so much further ahead. But the Biden administration, they simply don't want to do it. And we would have to ask the administration, why are you not securing the border? It seems like the simple thing to do. And we really should push on with making sure that we're using those materials that the taxpayers have already paid for.
Earlier this year, President Biden ordered agencies to carry out plans to get workers back into the office, federal workers, this fall. But there's apparently been little progress on that front, thanks to agreements with public sector unions that prevent the White House from forcing workers to be physically present in office buildings. But, Senator, you demanded an investigation into 24 federal departments and agencies over the impact of telework. And thanks to that, the General Services Administration is downsizing 3.5 million square feet of federal buildings. You just saved the taxpayers $1 billion.
Yes, and let me tell you, the GSA has 8,300 office buildings, and most of the time you'll see anywhere with the utilage from being from 10% to 27%. That's not very good. Because of these telework policies, we have federal workers that are working from home. So if we're not going to use the office space, why are the taxpayers on the hook for it? I have been working this issue for months and months and months, and I'm glad to see it come to fruition. That's $1 billion we can put back into our taxpayers' pockets. And just think, if the GSA would do even more, I think we would be much further ahead. So if we're not using the space, let's get rid of it.
Politicians spend money, but you, Senator Joni Ernst, you're saving the taxpayers cash. We don't hear that story very often. That is a great success. Thanks for your hard work, and thanks for joining us on The Bottom Line. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Dagan.
Great to see you.
Yeah.